That's why I wanted Member of Congress, Representative Randy Fine, Republican, Florida, to come in. He's been going at it with Ilhan Omar. This is not new. He has a problem with people in Congress who he believes are sympathetic to jihadist organizations or terroristic organizations. And Ilhan Omar, the Democrat, who's also Muslim, this is what she posted that ticked off Randy. This is Benjamin Netanyahu's third visit to D.C. this year. War criminals should not be welcomed by any president or Congress. This prompted Jewish Republican Congressman Randy Fine to respond, "I'm sure it is difficult to see us welcome the killer of so many of your fellow Muslim terrorists." Hakeem Jeffries is trying to jump on the high moral ground, even though he hasn't said anything about the attack on ICE. If I'm wrong, I'll correct it and tell you what he said. But how does the head of the Democratic caucus in the House have nothing to say about federal law enforcement officers getting killed for political reasons? Instead, he says the Hamas Caucus is upset. Boo-hoo, Randy Fine says, when Jeffries asked him to apologize. I guess they weren't listening when I said Hebrew Hammer was coming. All right, let's bring in the congressman and find out what's going on here. Randy, you're always welcome on the show. Thank you for taking the opportunity.
Chris, thanks for having me. I'm actually on a boat. I'm supposed to speak tonight, but it's important for me to be on your show. So here I am. Thanks for understanding if there's any weirdness here.
I was worried. I thought you were making a run for it because you're afraid that Ilhan Omar is going to come and whoop your hiney.
Well, look, there are 2 Muslim terrorists that have gone to prison for making death threats against me, and so I'm sort of used to it.
Now, you know your language, and you are suggesting that a member of Congress is a terrorist. Is that really what you want to communicate?
I think terrorism, there are extremes. I believe that when someone blocks the road and keeps a pregnant woman from getting to the hospital, that's a form of terrorism. They're not all the same. It's not the same as blowing yourself up. But I believe that when you adopt the policies that Ilhan Omar has adopted, when you support Hamas in the way that she has, you're supporting terrorism. And the people who are in Qatar running Hamas, they aren't blowing anything up, but they're still terrorists. And so, yes, I believe that she supports Muslim terror. And I think if you support Muslim terror, you're a Muslim terrorist.
What do you make of Hakeem Jeffries' suggestion that you owe an apology?
Well, I think it's disgusting. I mean, he called me a racist. I didn't say anything racial at all. And frankly, that whole comment is racial. I mean, most Muslims aren't black. So I was pretty horrified by calling someone a racist is a big deal. I understand that he has to kowtow to the anti-Semitic part of his party, but he should be more upset about Ilhan Omar criticizing Benjamin Netanyahu and saying he should be arrested for war crimes. Benjamin Netanyahu is trying to make sure 1,200 Jews don't get killed again, like happened on October 7th. He has been a warrior to protect Jews all over the world. And to make those statements while he's in the country was just disgusting. He ought to be criticizing her.
You're right. You got the right argument on race. But this would be about you painting all Muslims as if they're all crazed jihadis, and that you have a habit of conflating Muslims with terrorists.
I just reject that. I mean, if I did that, I would just say, I wouldn't say Muslim terrorist. I would just say Muslims. I don't believe that. But I don't believe all Muslims are terrorists, but I also don't believe no Muslims are terrorists. And I think that's a fair thing to say. I think one of the problems we have in our public policy is we have pretended that that an affinity for terrorism is rare among Muslims. It is not. I don't know whether it's 10%, 30%, 40%, as certain polls show, but it is not rare. And we need to be concerned about that. I know I am, but I will say this about Jeffries. I've called out anti-Semitism in my own party. It's easy for me to do it to the other side. But what leaders do is they call it out when they see it in their own party. And that's what disappoints me the most.
Well, one last quick thing. You have a bill on the table. CAIR, C-A-I-R, it's an acronym. They are the leading Islamic voice when it comes to dealing with media perception in America. You have a bill to declare them a terror organization. How so?
Yep. Well, they are. I mean, they were formed by people associated with Hamas many years ago. And what I'll say about CAIR is this. After October 7th, the executive director of CAIR said October 7th made him happy. and he still has that job. Look, Muslim Americans deserve an NAACP. I just don't think CAIR is it.
Randy Fine, I appreciate you coming on to make the case. Thank you for taking the opportunity on the show. Don't fall in the water.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.